they will use you and be done with you. And this is taken from Matthew chapter 27, verse 4. And what we're talking about is, this is basically Judas going back to the leading priests and elders after he has already betrayed Jesus. And Jesus has basically been sentenced to death. And Judas now has guilt on him. And so he goes back to them. And like I said, we're at the 4th verse, which is right here. And it says, "I have sinned," he declared, "for I have betrayed an innocent man." They told him, "What do we care?" They retorted, "That's your problem." I know we don't usually talk about Judas' story at all, but in this particular situation, I just wanted to dive in a little bit deeper. People will use you for their own agenda, and then when they're done with you, they basically have nothing to do with you, just like in this story. But one part that I really didn't dive into or actually get into in that particular passage is, if you go back a chapter, Matthew 26, verses 14 through 16, and I believe it's on, I'm looking at my Bible, on the 15th verse, he actually goes to the leading priest and he says to them in the 15th verse, "How much will you pay me to betray Jesus?" Now, we don't know the reason why he did it, and there's no point. But at the end of the day, he goes to them and says, and now the thing about it is, like, what were you thinking was going to happen to Jesus if you betrayed him? Like, whatever. But at the end of the day, once they got what they wanted, they had nothing else to do with him. And I know, as far as me, like when I was younger and I moved out of the house with my mom, and I was around maybe like a couple of bad influences or whatever. But at the end of the day, when they realized that I didn't drink, I didn't smoke and all those things, what do you think they offered me? To drink and to smoke. But they weren't around when I was up there. I had like hangovers the next day or anything like that. It's like, it has nothing to do with us type of thing. And that's how it is sometimes in life. People will use you for their own agendas and be done with you. So that's why we have to be so much more careful when we're going through situations, that we don't make the wrong decisions or have the wrong people around us. It is so vital that you have friends that's going to either hold you accountable, be your vent partner or whatever, but not get you into temptation or get you on the wrong side of the tracks. Because sometimes getting you on the wrong side of the tracks, you will never come back from that. So be mindful of the people that you have around you. Be careful of the decisions that you make when you're upset and you're depressed. And yes, because some of the decisions that you make or some of the people that you might have around you, you may not be able to come back from those decisions. So please be mindful.